The National Democratic Coalition has written a letter to President Bola Tinubu congratulating him on his victory at the polls and seeking Nigeria's return to a republican constitution. In the letter signed by its spokesperson, the pro-democracy group noted that the 1963 Republican Constitution ensures true federalism and guarantees peaceful coexistence among regions and tiers of government in the country. Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale has joined us now to discuss that congratulatory letter and its demand for return to federalism. And he'll also look at the extant political system in Nigeria and its inherent defects or otherwise. Good afternoon, Mr. Sobowale. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the studio.
Pleasure to be here.
Yes. Now, what do you make of this letter, this call by NADECO?
I will call it a love letter from NADECO to Tinubu, because they haven't seen eye to eye in recent times. And luckily, nobody has spoken of any faction of NADECO in this. But if you know for NADECO, you know Ayok Badogun. He's a veteran of the road. And he can speak authoritatively on behalf of NADECO, and even to a large extent on behalf of Tinubu. NADECO is congratulating its own, congratulating Tinubu. And in asking for a return to federalism, they are not saying anything new. They are calling on him to go back to the promise he made in his manifesto, that to redress the imbalance of our unitary federation, we will revert back to federalism. Because the 1963 Republican Constitution made Nigeria a federal state. But when the military intervened in 1966, they booted that aside. Aguiyi Ironsi made Decree 34 that blamed all the ills of Nigeria on Nigeria's existing regionalism there, and literally scrapped everything, made Nigeria a unitary state. And all military rulers thereafter had consolidated that in the 1979 Constitution and the 1999 Constitution. You don't need to look far. Look at our legislative list. The exclusive list has 68 items that cover literally all aspects of power and life. The concurrent list is the one between the state and the federal government, has about 12 items, and the rest are just there. And then don't forget that later, the military created the presidential system of government, which was a consolidation of what the powers in the exclusive list, and which virtually made federalism impossible. We modeled ourselves on the United States Constitution, separation of powers. But you see, in our own system, the way we redistribute or devolve powers is through elections. Through elections, through census. You know, we are about to have a census this year too. Yep. But this, part of the reason was the transition, politics from one regime to the other, and what was the mood, post-election mood. Mm-hmm. That post-election mood too is getting conventional for use now. That too was used by the NLC in agreeing, you get me, to postpone the indefinite strike. But the important thing is that the presidential system has consolidated power in the North based on census. Imagine if after this election, where the litigation is still in the courts, and many people are angry with the result of the election and querying it, and then they say census. The system would have been overheated. We are supposed to have had our first digital census early May. But thank God it has been postponed Till when, I do not know. But then, you see, we call ourselves a federation. We have a federal character body to redress imbalances in appointments, in how we distribute power and all that. But all of us know that power is based in Nigeria on elections, on census, and on revenue allocation. You get me? And those who are asking for restructuring are calling for a redress of the distribution and separation of powers, such that we function as a federating unit, which individual states can develop along the lines of their geographical structure, their resources, and their peculiarities in terms of religion and culture.
Okay.
That is what people are advocating for.
So, based on your response, what I'm getting is that you also agree that the Constitution should ensure true federalism and guaranteeing the peaceful coexistence among regions and tiers of the government in the country.
The Constitution is a federation in name only, but in execution, it's like a military structure. Don't forget, another problem is this. Nigerian military leaders, since the West, since globalization, democratization, marketization, privatization, when all those came in, and people needed IMF loan, they put those conditionalities here. That you must practice democracy. You must have elections. So military rulers then just change their braided hat and boots and uniform. Change it to agbada. Get me now? We have had two former military rulers, Obasanjo and the last president.
Yes.
And we see, you go to the National Assembly, you see you have more former governors, more former military rulers who are proud. The cloud for politics in Nigeria is money. So, you see, it's like we have militarized our democracy.
If I may, Mr. Sobowale, because I know we have just a limited amount of time. Okay. For those that say, that subscribe to the school of thought that the issue is not the Constitution here, but that the problem is that there's no structure and we don't have strong institutions. What do you say to that?
We have institutions. You get me now? When we democratized, we have strong institutions. You get me? You see, the Constitution on its own is okay. But the Constitution is the spirit of the Constitution that matters. The way people interpret the letters of the Constitution. The English, in England, they have no written Constitution until recently that they just established a Supreme Court. And they were going along, they know their customs and traditions. But our own, everything is in black and white. You get me? But until to get to a stage where you need interpretation from the court, Supreme Court and all that, you will never know the spirit of our Constitution. But then, census, elections, those two, and the separation of powers, the way it is structured politically, makes power preponderantly more in the north than in the south. And then you cannot eliminate the issue of religion, like we saw in this this Muslim ticket.
Yep.
You are still reeling from the effect of that. Get me? So we have a federal constitution on paper, but
we don't actually
it's a command structure, like a military command structure. Everybody goes to Asoro to get money, to get whatever, and that is why it is a do-or-die competition to become elected as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay.